I have the Canon 14-35 f4 and the 15-35 f2.8, both exceptionally awesome lenses. I have loved this lens for the last 3 years. I have loved this lens for the last month, but ultimately we need to find out which one is best for image quality. And ultimately, does it really matter? We're gonna find out. Hi, I'm Jared Hoyman, and welcome to my channel where I drive myself insane, especially with these two lenses. I have had this lens for 3 years. I've had this lens for like a month and a half, and this one is actually surprisingly really good and awesome. But when it comes to pixel peeping, when do you stop? I'm staring at a 48-inch OLED. And I'm just staring at these images at 200% and 400%, and it is driving me nuts because these are both exceptionally good image quality. So here's the deal. This video hopefully will not be that long. I'm gonna make it easy for all of us. We're gonna go into Lightroom. I'm gonna show you comparisons of these lenses. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna give you my full thoughts and analysis on which lens is best for which person. And here's the big one. I'm gonna let you download these raw files on your own and take a look because ultimately it's super subjective. Okay, let's get into Lightroom, and then right after we'll come down here and I will tell you which lens is gonna be the one that I'm gonna use most of the time going forward. So here's the comparison between the 14-35 wide open at f4 and here is the 15-35 at 15 wide open at 2.8. So we zoom in and here is the comparison. So the benefit obviously with the 2.8 is more light in. Right now it's at 1/20th a second. ISO is 400. And over here it's 1/10. So 1/20th, 1/10. Obviously, that does benefit when doing low light, but when you're on a tripod, it really doesn't matter a whole lot. So image quality wide open. My focus again was really at the screen and I had to manually focus. So they're very close. And this is at 200%. So nobody's zooming in at 200%. I mean, you can see pixels and noise pretty good here, but it does look like the 15-35 is a little bit sharper. And again, I am going to share these files because I can tell you on YouTube what these look like to me, and I can give you my personal opinion, but really you have to figure it out for yourself if that makes a difference or not. For me, it doesn't, and the image quality is really good on both. So this is really big for me. I am shooting 99.9% of the time at f8. And if I'm not shooting at f8, I'm actually shooting at f11 outside. So we're inside here. On the left is the 14-35 at 14. And on the right, we have the 15 at 15, the 15-35 at 15. And both at f8. It's almost hard to even tell the difference. And you can tell the time that I did. There is a little bit more contrast that you can see, especially on this dock right here. So the CalDigit dock does have more detail on the 15-35 at f8. Let's look down here. Again, 200%. We're really pixel peeping here. Yeah, if anything, there's a little bit more detail in the 15-35 at f8. Otherwise, here we'll look at the window, might be a tiny bit. It's technically further away with the 14-35 because it's at 14 compared to the 15. So that could have something to do with the detail as well. But to get that much information inside of the frame and this, and not tell a whole lot the difference. And then you can look at the lighting here. What I do notice is that at f8, at 5.6, You do get a little bit better sun stars off of light. Now, that's if you like that look. You can see the sun stars coming off of this light, and here you don't, but it also isn't bleeding into the rest of the background. This gives you a specific look. This gives you more of a cleaner look. Probably a little bit more detail right there in the 15 to 35, but this is at 200%. You're not going to notice this, but the 14 to 35 is very impressive next to the 15 to 35, especially since there is a $1,000 difference. So I have the 15 to 35 on the left and I have the 14 to 35 on the right, both set at F8. Again, this is the common f-stop that I always use when I'm shooting interior. So I'm focusing on the fireplace right here. And what I can see from these images is that there is a little bit more contrast and tiny bit more detail at this 200% on the fireplace, on the bricks right here. But when looking over at the 14 millimeter, it's so hard to tell. It's pretty good. There again, a tiny bit of detail more on the logs than over on the 14 to 35. Now this lamp is fully in frame where it is cut off right here. Then look on the right side, we got the pillow, but the pillow is practically in frame. But even look wider, you can actually start seeing the frame going into the next room right here. And here it doesn't. So framing does make a big difference, especially with real estate photography. So this is pretty good. Now you can see the sun stars a little bit on the 14 to 35, but not as prevalent as you will see right here on the 15 to 35. Again, I don't think that's a huge deal. They can be pretty, but it's not distracting. I mean, it pretty much blends in and actually looks cleaner on the 14 to 35. And when you fill in these frames, that 1 millimeter, that 14 to 35 does make a difference. But you know what else makes a difference? The price. So who is the winner and who is the loser when it comes to these two lenses? Well, check out the raw files. You let me know in the comments below after looking at those. For me, the winner is the 14 to 35, and it's for so many different reasons. The image quality is so close between the two of these that everything else has to come into play. And that is portability, traveling, and this thing is so light compared to the 15 to 35. I've been pleasantly surprised over the last month and a half with this lens because I'm in about 4 to 5 houses a day and moving from room to room and then packing up, going to the next house. This thing is super light, let alone these lenses are the lenses I use on a gimbal when I do video walkthroughs. And after I rebalanced for this one, wow, this lens does not put strain on my gimbal or my back. And that is a huge factor. Plus, when I'm doing video walkthroughs, I'm shooting at f4. So why not just f4 on here? Now, it's not all sunshine and roses because there are some things that I love about the 2.8 that I don't about the f4, and it isn't the aperture. I do like the 2.8, but I don't use it enough to really miss it if I don't have it. It has to do with the focus ring and the zoom ring. The focus ring on the 15 to 35 is large, and so is the zoom ring, and it's easy to just grab it and use it. When you are using the focus ring or the zoom ring on here, they are so close together in size that sometimes you're bumping the other, and if you're manually focusing like I am, and you want to hit that zoom and you want to go up to about 15 or 16 millimeters, you might be hitting that focus a little bit. So that is a problem. But again, that is super small compared to all the other pros that this offers that this doesn't. Oh, the other pro for you is this thing is like almost $1,000 less than this thing, depending on what kind of deal you can get. And if you've been following me for, honestly, for like even a few weeks, you would know that I got this at Best Buy brand new for $850. I have no idea how that happened. It says $1,200 on their website. I ordered at the desk and it cost me $850. I thought it was a joke or something was wrong with the order, But no, it was legit, $850. When I bought this was $2,200. It is on sale right now for about $1,800, and you might be able to get it refurbished, but I will have links below. Again, if you're in real estate photography like me, you're shooting at a very tight aperture anyways, the F4 is going to be amazing. Again, I will have a link where you can download those raw files, and seriously, make comments below because I might not be seeing something that you see and vice versa, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it. But guess what? I have another wide angle lens that I am just getting in today as we speak, and that is the 10 to 18 millimeter RFS for the Canon R7. You can use it on full frame as well, but this one is another alternative on the crop sensor for real estate photography. So the tests that I will be putting this through are going to be awesome, so stay tuned. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, and yeah, you know, those videos, they're cool. Watch them. Don't watch them. Watch them.